morning and welcome to Library Adventures Live. Today we've got our very special guest, Philip Ardagh, who we shall be introducing in a second. And we also have...
I'm Tiffany. I'm one of the librarians for Kirklees Libraries, and I've got the Libro Chicas book club with me. So here we've got
me, Stephanie, Alina, and I'm Poppy. If you'd like to have a shout out, then just comment your name and where you're watching from, and we'll make sure to shout you out.
If anyone has any questions for Philip, we will be interviewing him later. Put them in the chat section and we'll read them out.
And it's going to be a draw along, so make sure you've got a pencil and a paper.
Did you manage to watch Library Adventures Live last week? We had Darren Simpson talking about his new book, The Memory Thieves. If you missed it, don't worry, because you can watch it on catch up. And I don't know, Olivia might be able to put a banner up for me. Oh, no, I've got it. So if you'd like to watch the Darren Simpson episode, if you go to www.kirkleeslibraries.co.uk/LAL, you can get all our previous episodes on catch up there.
Excellent. And before we've even introduced Philip, we've got people that are excited to meet you, Philip. So we've got Fraser Davis, he can't wait for this. There's 4 of them in Fraser's house, excited already.
Hello, Fraser.
Amira Shah is excited, watching in Huddersfield. So.
Huddersfield. Hello, Huddersfield.
Philip, should we officially introduce you? Here is Philip Ardagh. Welcome, Philip.
Thank you very much. It's fantastic to be here. Really nice of Kirklees Libraries to invite me. Thank you. I'm actually in East Sussex, which is down sort of the bottom of England. There's Cornwall's that way, and I'm the other way. And I live somewhere called Battle, which is a slightly odd name for a place. But if I tell you it's where the Battle of Hastings took place in 1066 and William the Conqueror became William I of England, then it might make sense. Unless you thought that the Battle of Hastings took place in Battle, which was why, in Hastings, which might be called the Battle of Hastings. If it took place in Bradford, you might expect it to be called the Battle of Bradford, but no! The Battle of Hastings took place in Battle, except of course it wasn't called Battle then because it was called Battle after the battle. I'm confused. Yes, so the Battle of Hastings was really the battle near Hastings, and I live in Battle near Hastings, and I live opposite this fantastic old abbey that has amazing windows and beams, and it's really absolutely fantastic and well worth a visit. But enough about that, because today I want to talk about this fantastic looking book called Bunnies on the Bus. And I can say it's fantastic looking because I'm not showing off. Obviously, my head is swelling with pride, but because I didn't do the pictures, but because with a picture book, there are 2 people involved. There's the person who comes up with it, the genius who has the idea. Me. Then there's the person who writes it beautifully. Me. And then there's someone who does the pictures. And the person who did the pictures in this picture book, Bunnies on the Bus, is Ben Mantle. You can see his name is down at the bottom there as well. So all the fabulous pictures are done by Ben. And I didn't tell him everything to draw. I didn't just say, because I created it and wrote it, this is what you must do. So lots of the clever little invention-y bits are by Ben himself. Because in a picture book, there's not just the story, but there's so much that you can look at. Like now, you can hear me talking and admire my beard at the same time. You see, we can all do 2 things at once. So I thought what would be nice is I'm going to read through the story quite quickly first, and we'll just keep the camera on me and the book. So I'll just read through this first, but there's so much going on in the pictures. Then we'll go back and we'll show some of the pictures on the screen without my beautiful face. I'm sorry about that, such is life. You can just imagine me here with my bunny ears. And we can see some of the little details of what's going on, but let's have a look. So you open it up. These are called the end papers because they're at the end. You get these in most hardback books and some paperback books. And if you look closely, you will see that there are loads of carrots there. And the reason for that, sorry, I beg your pardon. The reason for that is because bunnies eat carrots. Now, I'm not going to be able to read if I'm chewing, so just excuse me 1 moment. What's it say on the back? It's the back of the bus. And it says, am I driving well? Hello. I've learned something. Never eat a raw carrot before you're about to read a book. Excuse me. Right. Are we ready? If you get, excuse me, if you get a library version of this book, you may not see this page because it'll have the library sticker over it. So very carefully lift up. Do we have an example of that? There we are. Thank you very much. Olivia is showing us the book, and the label is covering the top of it. But if you're looking at an ordinary version, it says, "It's a sunny summer's day in sunny town, with the creatures warm and happy as the sun shines down." And there they are all in their houses. Let me turn over, and it says, "Bunnies on the Bus" by Philip Ardagh and Ben Mantle. But if you look, there are some meerkats here, and they're talking to the bus driver. They're asking him the way to somewhere. The bus driver's an elephant. And while they're chatting to the bus driver, these naughty bunnies getting on the bus, and one of them is even behind the wheel. Oh, no! There's a turtle at a bus stop waiting with her shopping. A bus whizzes past her with no sign of stopping. Here, can you see? Nightmare, there is, no, not sure where the camera is yet. There is the bus driver going, oh no! And there is the poor old turtle waiting for the bus that's whizzed past. Bunnies on the bus, bunnies on the bus. No wonder there's a fuss about the bunnies on the bus. Oh dear, it's whizzing away. There's a bunny at the wheel. There's a bunny at the wheel. He's swerving round the corners to make the others squeal. Look at that. They're whizzing along. Dear me. Still enjoying that carrot that I finished ages ago. Pandas at the crossing. Pandas at the crossing. Zoom. They're shopping, jumping in the air, spinning and a tossing. Look, the bus has gone past so fast. Vroom. All their shopping's flown up in the air. Oh, dearie, dearie me. Bunnies on the bus, bunnies on the bus. No wonder there's a fuss about the bunnies on the bus. And look at this. The bus whizzes past, and there's a bunny on the roof. There's a bunny that's got a scooter attached to the back. There's a bunny. There are bunnies everywhere. What a terrible, terrible situation. Baby bunny wails. Baby bunny wails. Mummy bunny soothes him, reading bunny tales. And the book's called Goldie Flops and the Three Bears. And we'll find out why the bunny's wailing, baby bunny's wailing, when we look at it in detail. Lambs by the library, playing on the swings. The bus goes shooting past them. The bus going so fast. But it's flying without wings. It's taken off. And the big bump. Bunnies in the aisle, bunnies in the aisle. Do sit down or you'll end up in a pile. And look, a big bunny's grabbed by the ears and is saying, stop being so silly. There's a bunny on the roof. There's a bunny on the roof. Oh, do sit down, silly bunny. You may well lose a tooth. And look, he's heading for a bridge. And he hasn't seen there's a bridge there. But fortunately, he's ducked down, so he's come out the other side all right. Bunnies on the bus, bunnies on the bus. No wonder there's a fuss about bunnies on the bus. Okay, I'd like everyone to have a go at the chorus, so I want to hear you, please. 3, 2, 1. Bunnies on the bus, bunnies on the bus. No wonder there's a fuss about the bunnies on the bus. Excellent. Bunnies at the stop. Bunnies at the stop. Time to get off now. They're getting off the bus. They jump down with a hop. Because bunnies are very good at hopping, aren't they? But wait, what's happening down in Station Lane? The bunnies from the bus have jumped onto a What do you think it is? Let's read that again. But wait, what's happening down in Station Lane, railway station? The bunnies from the bus have jumped onto a train. Yes, you're right. There they all are, piling through the platform. Bunnies on the train! Bunnies on the train! Vroom. Another bunny journey. Here we go again. There we are. So that's the story. They start off on the bus. They don't stop. They whiz past people. But there's also so much happening. So, Olivia, you've got some of the pictures, haven't you? So I'm just going to start again. And then when we get to the first picture, you put that up. And then I'll talk about what we're looking at. Okay? So it begins here. It's a sunny summer's day in Sunny Town with the creatures warm and happy as the sun shines down. And here, there's a little postman piggy, and here there's a police dog in a police car, and here there's a lion who's proudly brushing his mane. And in the background, if you can see up here, he's in a poster because they're using this lion, this very lion, to advertise their hair product, their main product. And here there's a bear smartening himself up, and here there's a little bunny. Here there's a panda and their roof garden, but if you look very closely down here, there are two squirrels, and they're wearing masks because they're robber squirrels, they're bandit squirrels, and we'll see what they get up to in the story. And then we turn over. We call this the title page because the title of the book is there, Bunnies on the Bus. And as I said, the meerkats are talking to the driver to distract him. And here are the bunnies. One's got a balloon, another one's got a big cake, one's got a scooter, this one's got a drum. Now that drum is quite important. We'll see that later on. And there's little bunny with his glasses behind the wheel. Now I think you've got a picture for this one, Olivia, have you? There we are. Now look, there's a turtle at a bus stop waiting with her shopping. A bus whizzes past her with no sign of stopping. Now, if there are any grown-ups watching this, if you look at the back, you can possibly see in the top left-hand corner, there's the doggy policeman. But in front of that, there's a zebra crossing. And going across the zebra crossing are three bugs. But if you imagine there are three beetles on the zebra crossing, the adults may have heard of a Beatles album called Abbey Road. So there are little touches like that. And now look at the front, bottom left. Can you see who's poking out of that litter bin by the angry elephant bus driver? It is the two bandit squirrels. And the whiz of the bus going past, that poor old turtle, has made the wind blow, and it's blown a newspaper out of the hand of the crocodile, and it's landed on the face of a raccoon, and it's the Daily Tale, and it says, escaped. And there's a picture of the two robber squirrels in their masks. And look at those bunnies in the bus. One of them's hugging a balloon that's bobbing around. One of them's swinging from the back. They're being very, very naughty. Okay, could we see the next picture, please? Right. Bunnies on the bus, bunnies on the bus. No wonder there's a fuss about bunnies on the bus. And can you see on the right-hand side, there's a cat looking very shocked by what's going on. But look in the barber's shop, because there is the lion who is so proud of his hair. I think his name is Leo Panthera, and he's having his hair cut. But look, the poodle is cutting his hair, is looking out the window at the bus, and oh no, the top of his hair's been cut off, and he advertises hair products. What's going to happen? And look at that poor hedgehog, just bought a cake from the cake shop, and it's about to splat on him. And there is the piggy postman, because his letters are escaping, and one of them is floating past a shop, and in the shop you can see there's a bear who was smartening himself earlier. He's buying a box of chocolates, and the rabbit in the bus is trying to catch the escaped letter. Okay, could we look at the next picture, please? Little bunny at the wheel, little bunny at the wheel. He's swirling around the corners to make the others squeal. And look, there are carrots everywhere, and I've learnt my lesson never to eat a carrot when I'm about to read a story, because I was a bit choky earlier on. There's carrots there, newspapers, they're swerving around the corner. One carrot looks like it's got a balloon tied to it, unless it's going past. And there at the front is Mummy Bunny, and Baby Bunny is fast asleep. So all's well at this stage. Okay, can we turn the page, please? Pandas at the crossing. Pandas at the crossing. Zoom! boom, they're shopping, jumping in the air, spinning and a tossing. Now, if you look at the first picture of the pandas at the crossing, there's a manhole cover, an access cover at the left-hand side, just by them, and you can see 2 pairs of eyes sticking out because those are the bandit squirrels. And then on the right-hand page, we see they've lowered the cover, and standing on it is the dog policeman, unaware that the naughty, naughty squirrels are just below. And there are the rabbits on the bus looking utterly, utterly crazy. And those poor old pandas, one's fallen over, one's got his head in a bush, and another one's clinging to the traffic light so as not to blow away. Am I driving well? No, you're not. Okay, next picture, please. Bunnies on the bus, bunnies on the bus. No wonder there's a fuss about the bunnies on the bus. Look, there's a monkey has run up the bus stop to escape from them. There's a bunny on the roof. There are 2 bunnies on the roof. There's one flying his kite out of the back. There's a bunny tied onto the back on his scooter. And look, there's a really crazy bunny sitting on the wheel arch at the front. But what else can we see in the picture? If you look behind the mummy and young hippo, you will see there's the bear, who earlier on was getting ready and was then in the chocolate shop. Now he's bought a bunch of flowers. And just beyond him, really, really small, is a fence. And looking over the top of the fence is one of the squirrels. And looking through a gap in the fence is another one of the squirrels. Right, next picture, please. Bunny baby bunny wails, baby bunny wails. Mummy bunny soothes him by reading bunny tales. Now, why was baby bunny wailing? Well, look, if you have a look, you may notice that sitting next to Bunny, baby bunny and mummy bunny, is a cake, and next to the cake is a rabbit, and that rabbit has a carrot in each ear. And lots of the rabbits look like they've been putting up with terrible, terrible noise. And then if you look in the row behind, one rabbit has a drum broken over his head. So I think what's been happening is that he's been playing that drum so loud, he's driven them crazy and woken up the baby and made baby bunny wail. But they finally shut her up by boof, putting the drum over her head. Unfortunately, everyone's happy and calmed down, including the one that had the drum on her head, because they're all listening to Goldie Flops and the 3 bears. Someone very cleverly said to me, why isn't it Goldie Flops and the 3 hares? Not hairy hair like my beard, but hair, which is a bit like a rabbit. I thought that was quite a clever suggestion. Next picture, please. Always nice to have a library and books, isn't it? Lambs by the library, playing on the swings. The bus goes shooting past them, flying without wings. And down at the bottom, we can see a mummy duck with 3 little ducklings, and then a duckling breaking out of the shell, and then the final one, a little egg following them. And there's a bank. They're in front of a bank. And by the bank is the doggy policeman, scratching his chin, looking around, keeping an eye out for trouble. And what he hasn't noticed is on the bank roof, there are the 2 naughty robber squirrels. It looks like they've got something in one of their sacks. Meanwhile, on the bus, one crazy bunny sticking his head out of the bottom. And then there's the bunny with the cake. She's leaning out of the window there. So all that's going on. On the other side, can you see there's a ladder falling away, and a decorator monkey who'd been up there doing some painting has dropped his brush, and a huge splobble is about to pour on top of this poor old fox who's just got a book from the library, and frightened the giraffe who's been reading her book on the steps of the library. And it's even made the penguin drop his fish sandwich. And in the background, past the shops, the piggy postman is still chasing after that letter that got away. And so things are not looking too good. And there's the Rawsome hair product advert at the top. But we know the poor old lamb has lost the top of his mane. Okay, if you have another picture, can we see it, please? Thank you. Bunnies in the aisle, bunnies in the aisle. Do sit down or you'll end up in a pile. The only sensible bunny is the big bunny, who I think was on the bus before all the other bunnies came and invaded it. So they're all mucking around and being very silly. And there's at the back, there's an old granny bunny and grandpa bunny, and grandpa's waving his stick and looking a bit annoyed at these young whippersnappers misbehaving. It all looks quite fun, doesn't it? But it is a bit dangerous. You should sit down on a bus, really, shouldn't you? Okay. There's a bunny on the roof. There's a bunny on the roof. woof, look, can you see the bunny? And they're heading towards a bridge. And if that bunny's not careful, he's going to get knocked out. Watch out, you silly bunny. You may well lose a tooth. That would be, just having a tooth chip would be bad enough, but might get knocked off. But no, phew, gone through the tunnel, come out the other side unscathed. What a relief. Because can you see in the first picture, the bunnies are looking really worried, thinking, bridge ahead, watch out. And then in the other one, they're looking relieved that came through all right. But if you look at the top of the bridge, can you see the squirrels with their stolen loot are driving along the top of the bridge on a scooter? Right. And do we have one more picture? Thank you. Here we are. Bunnies on the bus. Bunnies on the bus. No wonder there's a fuss about the bunnies on the bus. And let's look at the bunnies in the bus. There's one floating outside with the balloon. There's one clutching the letter that they caught from the piggy postman. There's one upside down. Granny and Grandpa Bunny are fast asleep. There's a bunny with a catapult that's about to fire a carrot at the back of the head of the sensible big bunny, who appears to have lots of other sandwiches piled up on top of his head. Yes, I think they might be carrot sandwiches. One's wearing a mac and a hat called a sou'wester and floating around with an umbrella. And the one at the bottom's got more carrots than you would ever believe possible rammed into his mouth at once. And another bunny seems to have found some lipstick and is drawing lipstick. But in the front, we can see, in front of the bus, there is the doggy policeman zooming after those naughty bandit squirrels on their scooter. Okay, right. Now, the next picture. Bunnies at the stop. Bunnies at the stop. Time to get off now. They jump down with a hop. Now, something rather interesting happens in this one, because all the way through, the cake has been okay. But unfortunately, as they stop suddenly, can you see that lovely cake that's been fine all the way is spinning upside down, and splat, it lands on a bunny. And this bunny here is absolutely covered in cakey icing and cream. And this bunny underneath is rather pleased to be able to lick it all up. And down they hop. Now, but wait, what's happening down in Station Lane? The bunnies on the bus have jumped onto a, well, let's wait a minute. Let's see what's happening here. There are bunnies, they've got their luggage and they're coming in. There is the police dog, and he is on the lookout for the bandits. But what he hasn't noticed is that they are there, but they're wearing disguises. They've put hats on so that they won't be instantly recognized. And what have we got here? We've got, there is the bear with the chocolates and with the bouquet of flowers, who's obviously off to meet somebody. And I can even see a bunny there, even though I can only see his ears. So they rush out. Oh, sorry, I didn't mention there. Where? Somewhere there. Yes, right here is the piggy postman. He hasn't given up trying to get that letter that he's lost. So we turn the page and look at the platform. So they're jumping onto a train, but just look at this platform. In the background, you can see two bears kissing by the elephant. And there we are. So the bear is giving the chocolates and the flowers to his girlfriend he's been waiting for. But with all this mess here, look, the robbers have tripped over and a huge diamond has come flying out that they've stolen. Their hats have come off, and there is the police dog catching them. What about the letter? There's the piggy postman, and the rabbit gives him the letter that he caught when he was in the bus. So after all that hard work, he's got it back. Bunnies on the train. Bunnies on the train. And there is the train whizzing over. And there again is the advertisement with the lion in it with a hair product. But look, the lion's hat's blown off, and everyone will see that actually he doesn't have that beautiful mane anymore. And if you look closely, there are lots of other things to see. You'll see the bears having a meal and things, and the pandas have got new shopping, and a new cake for that poor old hedgehog whose cake went up in the air with a splat. But what's most important is that the robbers have been caught by the police dog and is taking them back to jail. Another bunny journey. Here we go again. And there they all are, messing around on the train, wonder where they'll go next. But the big bunny is reading a newspaper. And on the front it says rabbits run riot, and on the back it says Leo no longer the main man. So he's lost his job advertising his beautiful mane because of those silly, naughty bunnies on the bus and those fantastic pictures by Ben Mantle. So there you are. I hope you enjoyed it. Whizzing through bunnies on the bus, bunnies on the bus. What's all the fuss about bunnies on the bus? And then looking at the pictures in more detail.
Thanks, Philip. That was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm quite exhausted. There was so much going on. I think I need to sit down now after trying to sort of keep up with all the different storylines there.
I've given the character a rabbit because I can honestly say, never eat a carrot and start chewing it when you're about to do a story. I thought we might have a real problem there, so we'll let Bunny do that instead, I think. Right, we're going to have some questions before I do my drawing.
Yes, and thank you so much for that reading. We really enjoyed it.
Excellent. I can clean my glasses to celebrate. By the way, I should say I'm not balancing a clock on my head, although I look pretty good. It's on the wall behind me. Right. Can you see the Bunny? It's even a picture of Bunny there, the effort I make. Right.
Seeing all the extra stories in the pictures was just great, wasn't it?
It's great. Now, I can't take credit for all of those. I would say only 97.3% will buy Ben himself. Ben has COVID. His whole family have COVID. So if he watches this on when you put the video up next week or whenever, I really hope that Ben and his family get well soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, get well soon.
And that's it. While we've been watching, there's been a few more people that we need to give a shout out to. Do you want to start, Poppy?
Yeah, so shout out to Daisy, because she would be here with us presenting, but she's camping at the moment, so she can't do it. But
Happy camping.
And then
hi to Sue and Dan in Malvern.
Oh, Malvern's dead posh. You have really nice water there. Yeah. And sell to unsuspecting tourists for terribly high prices. So hello, Sue and Dan. Nice to see you.
And thanks to Beth Fry, who's watching as well.
And Beth, I hope your dog is watching as well, because your dog is almost as gorgeous as you look in that picture. Oh, Dawn! Hello! Dawn. Oh, you look like you're married to someone very handsome. Hang on, I'm just... Oh, very nice. You only just caught the end. Well, my end is very popular. I get lots of nice comments about my end, so I'm very glad that you've managed to catch that.
Right, and now we've got some questions.
Well, I was just going to say that Dawn could join Ben Mantle in watching it later on Catch Up. If she missed the end, and Ben can watch it when he's feeling better. They can both watch it any time on Catch Up.
Well, that's great. Thank you very much. Very well organised team there. The book club. You see, they know the right things to say. Yeah.
Right, who's doing the first question?
Like biscuit one.
Yes.
What's your favourite biscuit?
My favourite biscuit. Well, I don't know if it counts as a biscuit, but I got very excited when Chunky Kit Kats came out. I have to say, because I'm from a generation when Kit Kats came in 4 sticks and were wrapped in foil, and so it was all to ever go on browse. So when a Chunky Kit Kat came up, I thought, oh, can we pretend that's a biscuit, because it's very, very hunky. And I used to, at every event I went to, talk about Chunky Kit Kats. So every event I went to thereafter, they would present me a Chunky Kit Kat, and they'd think they were being very clever and no one else had done it before. But I didn't mind, because I got a huge number of free Kit Kats. If we don't count that as a Chunky Kit Kat, a dark chocolate digestive. I liked hobnobs and chocolate hobnobs and all that, but I think a dark chocolate digestive that's been in the fridge for at least half an hour. So cold and firm and incredibly manly, which just, I think, describes me very well as well. That asks your biscuit query. I have a cat called Ginger Biscuit, by the way, who looks like this dead cat. Sorry, not really dead. I should explain, because I'm here in Battle in this room, so I don't have my cat with me, so I have a pretend cat. And Ginger Biscuit, you can find, is often on social media, especially on Catterdays. So I like Ginger Biscuits as well, especially if they're furry and purry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good question.
What inspired you to write your book?
What's good? I'm rubbish at everything else. You know, I have friends who can play. I'm the only man you will ever meet who's never picked up a guitar and strummed a few chords. The time will come in your life where you meet a guy and you like him as a friend or whatever, and you think, oh, and then he starts to pick up his guitar and your heart sinks and you think, oh dear. So I'm not at all musical. I'm incredibly ancient and I can't drive a car. If you asked me to do some DIY in your house would be a pile of rubble. So I'm rubbish at absolutely everything else, and that's great because it means I don't get distracted. And I've always loved writing, and I've had published over 200 books. So it's just something I love doing. And if you're lucky enough to earn a living doing something you love doing, and you do it more and more and more, and the more hours you put into something, usually the better you get at it. So I get my ideas from everywhere. I get ideas that just pop into my head. I get ideas when I see funny librarians. All those different things. I might be watching a TV show and think, oh, wouldn't it be much better if this happened? And therefore I've already got a new story. Rather than doing that, why didn't they do this? Sometimes when I write a story, the words take me off in a direction. I mean, the great thing about Bunnies on the Bus, Bunnies on the Bus, what's all the fuss about Bunnies on the Bus, is that it sounds like speed. And you can get past it. Bunnies on the Bus, Bunnies on the Bus, what's all the fuss about so you can just, the words can take you on an adventure. So it's just, I'm really lucky that I get paid to do it, because I do it anyway. I hope there are no publishers watching. I do it anyway, so the fact that I get paid is rather good.
Thank you. Do you prefer writing picture books or chapter books?
You get different pleasure from different things. It is a different skill. I write a lot of non-fiction. I don't write it so much now because people want my stories. Non-fiction is obviously factual. And I try and bring the fun into factual books and things. I wrote a series for the National Trust called Secret Diaries. So one of them might be a secret diary of yes, thank you. What's that one called? Smuggler's Daughter. So now obviously Kitty Cask didn't exist. She wasn't a real person, but all the historical facts based around it are true. So it's a way to mix fact and fiction. So I really enjoy that because I love facts. I like writing two types of non-fiction book. I like writing ones I know nothing about. So if someone said, will you write about the history of the nose? I know nothing about that. So it gives me a chance to go and speak to some nose experts and read books on noses and do lots of Googling about noses and things, making sure that the source is a good, reliable one. Talking to my local library, going in, then getting a book for me. But then the other one I like is I love writing about subjects I know a lot about. I know a lot about ancient Egypt, and I've given talks to young friends of the British Museum there about Egyptian and stuff. And I read a book called Hieroglyphs Handbook, Teach Yourself Ancient Egyptian, which was the first book in English for adults or children that had actually taking the idea seriously, I should say for children really, rather than just saying this letter means this and that letter means that, actually saying no, you have to then translate it into ancient Egyptian, into English and all that. Fantastic fun. So that's a different skill than sitting down and writing a 500-page book. Is a different skill to picture books. And I really like all of them because it uses different parts of my brain. So I don't have a favourite really.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Thank you. I think the question was, what's your favourite biscuit? But I got sidetracked. Sorry about that. Yes, hello.
Do you prefer reading or writing?
Oh, right, Bobby. Good question, Bobby. I use Bobby's name because it's the only one I can remember. So it creates the impression that I remember all your names, but I just remember Bobby's. And do you know why I remember Bobby's? Because it was the last one that was spoken. So you all introduced your name, and I thought, and then I got to Bobby, couldn't remember yours. Remember Bobby. So my very good friend Bobby, whose name I'll say as much as possible, Bobby. I can even remember. Yes, look, if I was stranded on a desert island, I would be really upset not to be able to read. I mean, reading is fantastic, but I have read a gazillion books in my life. So although I would really miss not being able to read, I could try and remember books, and I could try and remember so I thought she fainted in the middle there, but she was just either hiding a yawn or eating peanuts. I would miss it, but I could think of the books and I could do that. Whereas I have to write, I have a real need to write. So I'd have to have a banana leaf and a scratchy twig, and I would have to write because I just couldn't really survive without doing that. But it's a tough call. I mean, obviously I love reading as well. Good question.
Thank you. And we had someone sent in their question in advance. So let's see. We'll put that up on screen. So maybe
right. Were the characters from Grubtown Tales, sorry, I just spat a bit of carrot out there, based on anyone you know? Well, hello, Stephen Parsons. Huge fan. Like you very much, simply because it says huge fan. Obviously, you have a very good taste in books. Grubtown Tales actually won me the Roald Dahl Funny Prize, and I'm very proud of that series. And I'm really glad whether you ask whether they were based on anyone I know, because in the story there's someone called Philip Ardagh who has a troll in his airing cupboard. So he's got a window cut in the airing cupboard so he can sit and watch the troll. And he's a very grumpy author who boards up. He has a spare room, but because Grubtown is by the sea, he blocks up the spare room because he knows if you're a writer working from home, this was before COVID, everyone thought if you're working from home, you were never doing any work. So if you live by the sea, have a spare room and work from home, people think they can invite themselves. So he just bricks up the spare room. And the book's about Julie Cheetah, who is the town's duck gatherer, whose job it is to get all the ducks in safely at night. Because there's a crazy family called the Fox family, who, when Mrs. Fox was taking her driving test, a duck walked into the road and she swerved to avoid it and crashed into the sea. So she hates ducks. So they opened a shop called Kill All Ducks, where they have lots of plasticine models of ducks having terrible things happen to them. Now, do I know these people in real life? Well, of course, obviously. You might suspect there are some people. All my books have elements. Well, all characters are part of me, of course, because you've met me now and you've met the characters. So all of them are part of me, and they have elements. If I meet somebody, weird librarians, that's something I think about them. But unlike some authors, I've never actually taken a real person and simply changed their name. So they're composites, which is a posh word for saying bits all stuck together. Like when you drop a bit of blue tack on the floor of a hairdresser's and you pick it up and there's a false tooth, granny's moustache, and all these things mixed together. So it's a mixture of things. That's an excellent question, Stephen Parsons. I like you very much. Thank you.
And we have had a few more questions sent in, but I'm just thinking we might need to do the draw along. Ask the last couple of questions at the end of the draw along. Would that be okay?
Sure. Now, could I explain? I would do the draw along live, even if I hadn't choked on carrot, but I think it's really good to have a camera overhead so you're looking directly down. So Olivia and Tiffany asked me to do the draw along earlier, so it's been filmed so you can actually watch my beautiful, but do have a draw along. And I thought what I might do is draw along to my own draw along. Yep. So let's have a go. Let's play that piece of film.
Cool. And if you all get your pencil or your pen and your paper ready, whilst I seamlessly put the video on.
Tense. Oh. Here we are. Right, let's get ready to draw our bunnies. Have the piece of paper this way round so that longer side. Oh. Can't hear it. It's gone quiet. Can you hear me? I can't hear the sound.
Right.
Can't hear the sound.
How are we doing?
Can't hear the sound.
Olivia, I think, are you muted and that's why it's gone?
Yes, that was me. I told you it would be seamless, didn't I? It was just because, Philip, the introduction was so good. I thought we could watch it twice, once with sound and once without. So we'll go back now and have it with sound, shall we?
Why not? Thank you. I nearly burst into tears.
Right, let's try again.
Right, let's get ready to draw our bunnies. It's gone wrong. Who should we blame? Let's think of someone to blame.
Should we try streaming it through my laptop, Olivia?
Go on then. In the meantime, let me just.
More questions.
Oh.
Not like this. This is called landscape. No, it's gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, if we try streaming it through yours, Tiff, am I still sharing that? Or is that you?
Right, let's get ready to draw our bunnies. Have the piece of paper this way round so that longer side is here. Not like this. I've got an idea. Can you mute it? Can you mute it?
Yeah.
Shall I do the narration live? Hello, everybody. I was wondering if the sound is a problem. If you mute it, I could do the narration live, yeah?
That'd be super.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So why don't you play it?
Right.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm very still, which is why my hands aren't moving. I'm just right now. We want the piece of paper upright. You don't want it sideways. You want it upright, which is called portrait, because what we're doing is drawing a portrait. Now, try and ignore that annoying little circle that's spinning around. Imagine that someone's thrown a carrot at the piece of paper, and that's a hole. Okay, now I'm drawing with a pen, but I suggest you use a pencil because obviously you can rub things out if things go wrong. The only reason I'm using a pen is so you can clearly see if the video goes wrong, you'll still be able to see the lines of the picture quite clearly. Okay, so I've got my pen, but you'll probably be using a pencil. I'm slowing down. I'm planning to throw the pen like a dart at Olivia. Right, there we are. What nice rings I'm wearing. Now, if I had a pencil, I could rub it out very slowly with this rubber that's magically appeared that looks enormous. There we are. That's called perspective. Right, good. Here we go. Are you ready? You've got your piece of paper. I think we're going to start with the eyes. Very slowly.
If it did play seamlessly on the practices.
Right, we have gremlins. We're not worrying because we take a bit of time to draw something. So, okay, I'm going to draw an eye when I wake up. I've woken up. There we are. One circle and another circle about the same size, because most of us have eyes that are pretty much the same size, if not exactly. I'm going to pause. I've started again. There we are. So we got two eyes. There we are, two eyes. Now we need the pupils, which are the black dots in the eyes. And where you put the pupils can really affect the expression. You could have them in the middle, you could have them at the top, you could have them at the bottom, but I'm having them sort of bottom left there. So that gives a direction, doesn't it? It looks like our bunny is looking to the left. Right, okay. So what do we need after the eyes? I think we probably need a nose. And you can draw the nose rather like the letter Y. So there's the top bit of the Y when I decide to finish it. And then there's the stalk of the Y that goes down, and it's quite a long way. So there I've got the eyes, the nose, and it's already beginning to look a bit like a bunny, isn't it? Now I'm going to draw a big smile that looks a bit like a slice of watermelon or a slice of orange, or even a banana maybe. But I'm going to have a little bit of the bottom of the stalk sticking out. It's not, oops, no, sorry, a bit at the top. No, here we go. There we are. So I've got a little gap there. Can you see? So the Y, there's a gap at the bottom, because that Y got the eyes with the dots. It's like I really drew this myself, so I know what's going on, isn't it? There's the Y, the bottom of the Y, and we're going to turn that bottom bit of the Y into the teeth. It's going to be the gap between the two bunny teeth, because bunnies normally have two sticky out front teeth. Okay, so hopefully you've got that. Boo-ba-doo-ba-doo. There we are. So that's already beginning to look like a bunny, isn't it? But what else does a bunny need? I'm going to just draw the tongue in here, I think, so that just gives a bit more depth. So it's not just a flat smile. You also get a sense that there's a mouth behind there. Right, now, what do bunnies need? Ears! Now, I think I started a tiny bit too high up, but before we do the ears, let's do the body. Now, it's a bit like a sausage. I'm doing an upside down U, letter U, ooh, down the other side, so it looks a bit like a sausage. And then for the bottom, I'll probably do the same, really, like a sort of mirror image. So we're going to go down, but this time the U is the right way up. So we go down. I hope you're doing this at home. Ooh, sort of join. Will it join? It joins! Hey! Okay, so we've got our bunny shape. Now, am I going to do the tummy next, do you think? Looking very good there, Olivia. Well done. A lot of positive reinforcement. There's the bunny shape, and that's like sort of letter O. I'm using a lot of letters in this, aren't we? There we are. So we join that up. And that, when we colour it in, would be a different colour if you have a chance to look at the book. Now, as I was saying, I'm not sure I've left much space for the ears here. Unfortunately, I started a bit high up the page. I should have started a bit lower. So I'm just going to have to bend one ear a bit and pretend I wanted bunny, not with completely upright ears, but sort of sticky out ears. Now you can give your bunny curved top ears like this, or you could give them pointy ears, because all the bunnies have slightly different characters. They're different colours, different shapes, different expressions, like your friends. You know, they all look different, don't we? There we are. We come down. There's the other one. I made that ear a bit fatter and smaller than the other one because I'm not Ben Mantle. It was Ben who taught me how to draw this bunny, by the way, I should say. So I was taught by an expert how to draw a bunny for my own book. There we are. Now he's looking very bunny-like, but I think Bunny is... now what should we do next? What will help him look even more like a bunny? Oh, whiskers. There we are. Yes, whiskers. Look, looking very bunny-like now, but a bunny with no arms or legs. So I think we'll do the arms next. And when Ben draws the arms, he starts off with them. So he'll do one line, and then he'll start off with the arm being fatter, and he'll get thinner and thinner and thinner. So can you see there's a wider gap there between the top and the bottom of the arm? As we come in, woo, it gets thin. And then we'll just draw little paw fingers there, because I think this particular bunny, is going to be holding something. Now my hand disappeared, but it's back. Hooray, my hand has regrown. And now here's a great trick to make it look like a character has one hand behind their back. You do a little nobble like that, a little reverse capital D, and then you do another one, and it looks like he's holding his hand behind his back. So you can't see the paws there. Now, we're really getting there. What's missing? The feet. Now, if you have a look at bunnies on the bus, from the library, or from home, or from a bookshop, or even in a bookshop window, you will notice that he gives his bunnies little feet. But because, thank you very much, yes, can you see Olivia's holding up, they've got small feet. Now I'm going to give the bunny big feet because bunny rabbits in real life do have big feet, and B, I don't want to just be copying a Ben Mantle bunny. So if you want yours to look like a Ben Mantle bunny, just draw little tiny feet here. Have a look at the book. We'll get Olivia. Could you hold them up just once again? Could you hold up the book with the little feet? Thank you. There we are. Can we see little feet? I'm doing big bunny feet because this is... There you are. Yes, perfect. Thank you very much. That's a great example. I'm doing the big bunny feet, but I'm going to put a few little claws on there, and I think I'm going to do a fluffy bunny tail. So baby bunny whales, well, Philip Ardagh draws fluffy bunny tails. So let's put a fluffy bunny tail on there. Now, if you've done this in pencil, it'd be nice if you get some crayons and colours, and you fill various bits in, and you could decide you want a yellow bunny or a purple bunny or whatever you like. But whatever you do, first of all, let's give the bunny something to hold. Can you guess what I am doing? And I'll give you a clue. I got a bit choked up earlier when I was silly enough to take a bite out of one, and everyone was getting a bit worried I wouldn't be able to read. Yes, it's a carrot. We can hear someone talking over there. Right, good. They've shut up now. Well done. Okay, so you would actually colour it in, but I think I'm going to use just a pencil, just to do a little bit of shading, just to pretend we're colouring in, just to give it a little idea. But obviously, say I make maybe the inside of the ears a bit darker than the outside of the ears, and I would colour in the mouth, but make the tongue bit not as dark as the other bit. So I might make this bit black or brown, and just make the tonguey bit red. So and then a little bit more shading here and there. Okay, now when you've done that, the last thing you need to do is to sign your picture. So you don't have to write your whole name if you don't want to, but just sign your picture so you know that it's your work of art. And I think at the end we'll probably ask you if you'd be kind enough to post some of your pictures so we can have a look at them. Now, a nice trick that Ben taught me was just to do little lines going down like this, just straight lines like the letter I. And what that does is let me just colour the nose in there, just so it shows up a bit more. But it really gives the impression that our bunny is covered in fur if you've got these little lines. And then if, as well as doing those on the inside, you just add a few tufty bits on the outside, that really adds a fantastic furry effect. So I've got stuck on a hairy leg there. There we are. There we are. I'm going to do a few sprouty bits just sticking out at the top there, almost like tiny tots of grass, and it gives the impression that you've got one furry bunny. Okay, so let us just sign that now. So put the pencil down, Philip. Philip, put the pencil down. Stop talking. Put the pencil down. Oh, doing a bit. Yes. Now, another trick that Ben taught me was you don't want it to look like that your bunny is floating in the middle of the page, floating in midair. So if you just do a little bit of shading or green grass or whatever color you got there, can you see now it looks like the bunny is actually standing on something? So that's a good trick. Another useful trick from poor old Ben, who's not very well today. So there we are. We got the whole thing looking good. You could color it in, make it all bright and wonderful. And as I said, the last thing you need to do is to sign it. Philip, sign the picture. Philip, stop talking. Sign the picture. Please sign. Yes, yes, we've seen the picture. Yes, you keep doing that with your hands. We don't know what it means. Sign the picture. Puh. Puh. Here. He's very slow at signing his own. That's me, Philip. Yes. Done. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is to stop the video there, and I want a spontaneous round of applause, please. Thank you. There we are. Right. Is anyone else prepared who is on screen, prepared to show us their bunny? Can we make Olivia big, please? Can we somehow make her our main star? Oh, no, I'm big again. We don't want me big. We want Olivia big. Oh, that!
I've added some little carrots for him to eat as well. I can't find them. There they are.
Fantastic. And I also resent the way your signature is so much better than mine. But is that characterful? Did you, now, you can tell us, did you actually draw that now? Did you draw it earlier, following the video?
I did.
You do that now? Oh, that is fantastic.
All by myself.
Tiffany, do you and the team, the book club, have anything you dare show us at this stage? Can we make you big?
Yeah. Right, May, do you want to start with yours?
Mine's okay, Maisie. Maisie, I'm going to say your name a lot because I remembered it was Maisie. I love the cat. I love the bent ears, and you've added your own style, haven't you? You've gone for a more angular, more Picasso, if I may say so, a more Picasso style. I love that. That's really individual. Thank you. Anyone else prepared to show us? Right.
Well, this one's Steffi's.
Oh, now see, look at. Oh, I love the droopy ears, and I like the way you are sensible because you have got your bunny looking at the carrot rather than in the wrong direction. So that's very characterful. I like that. Thank you very much indeed.
I'll do Poppy. Oh, I nearly did the back of Poppy's. Here's Poppy's.
Oh, no, that is really colourful. That's one colour. I love that. That tail is almost like a cloud. It's so fluffy, isn't it? Love it. Thank you. Right. You're all either I am such a good teacher or you're all really good. I love it how the feet all really different. That one sort of goes straight to feet, no legs. So it looks actually more like a real bunny. Those are great. Tiffany, do you have one yourself?
I do have one myself.
Are you saving the worst till last? Hey, look at that. Happy bunnies with Ardagh feet. Well, I hope some of you at home have had a chance to do some bunnies. I don't know how this works. Is there a website or anything?
Alina, were you going to tell us about where to send?
So to send us, we'd love to see your drawing, so make sure to send them to lal@kirklees.gov.uk.
That's lal@kirklees.gov.uk. And could we ask them to hashtag it bunnies, do you think? BUNNIES? And I will really try and have a look at them. That's fantastic. And if I can have your permission, I may even steal some of them and post them on Twitter and things as well, because just having seen those ones there, that's great. I love the variety. I love it how everyone does things differently. So that's wonderful.
We'd love that. And when the team sent in, we've got a web page just for you, Philip. So we'll upload everybody's bunny pictures so that they can.
Oh, that would be wonderful, and I can put some links to that. Could I set a sort of challenge as well? Do you think would that be allowed? And maybe people. So this is obviously called Bunnies on the Bus, and if you remember, at the end they go onto a train. So they love charging around the place, causing havoc and fun and silly things wherever they go. So we've got them on a bus, we've got them on a train. I wonder if people could have a think about what else and where else the bunnies might go. And they could do it with a picture. So if they thought they'd go on bicycles, they could do a bunny on a bicycle. If you can't draw, you could just say bunnies on bicycles or whatever. But I'd love and have some crazy ideas, have a really good thought about it, think about it, thought about it, think about it. Or you might not know what they're going on, but where they'd like to go. If they went on the bus but didn't go to the railway station, where might be a fun place? Would they go to a carrot farm? So really just have fun with it, and you can do it with pictures and words or both, just so I can see where you think about where I think they might go next. There is, in fact, a new bunny book that's just been finished, but I'm not going to tell you what it's called because I don't want to influence your ideas. And I have just signed up for a very special top secret third bunny book. So I'd just love to see where you think the bunnies might go next and how they get there.
Excellent, thank you. Oh, super. So yeah, comment on social media, get in touch with us, #bunnies and #LAL, LAL. And we did have a live question sent in that it'd be lovely just to ask you to finish off with. So we've got from you, Spencer, if you're a character in your story, which animal would you be? And the water is excellent in Malvern.
You see, you've been listening, Sue, and I appreciate that. And you've turned into a flower since we last saw you, which is lovely. Yes, if I was a character in the story, which animal would I be? Well, rather interestingly, I think that big serious bunny secretly has rather a good time because he gets to go to all these crazy places at high speed and things, and he can pretend to be serious and say, you know, don't run and grab them by their ears and things. But I think he can secretly love it. So, but without getting the blame. So he can go, I was sitting on that bus when these other bunnies got on and I was trying to read my paper, and inside he's going, So I think being that bunny might be a good one. If not, which one would I like to be? Well, there's a crocodile. I'll just show you the crocodile here. Here he's running a kiosk at the station, which is rather nice. So you get to see people every day and help them if they're looking for maps and places they want to go and asking questions and selling things. So I think that would be rather nice. But also, if you look at the book, you'll find crocodiles in lots of other places too. So I'd either be the crocodile or the big serious bunny. So I think that's what I'd do. Fantastic questions today. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for some fantastic answers too.
Good.
And we'd love you to, we'd love to come and see you again. So maybe when you do your second bunny book or your top secret third bunny book, maybe we could have you back on here, or one day we could see you in real life, maybe.
Yes, I am even lovelier. Hard to imagine, I know, but even lovelier in the flesh. I have a series of books called The 9 Lives of Furry Purry Bean Cat, and they are illustrated by Rob Biddulph, who does Draw with Rob, which there we are. Don't you see, always useful to have a librarian on hand. I think that's the station, the railway station. What's it called?
The Railway Cat.
The Railway Cat, of course it's called that. I've just finished The Witch's Cat, that's been illustrated. Then we've also got The Pirate Captain's Cat, and a new one called The Library Cat. And the Library Cat is dedicated to librarians everywhere. And in the Library Cat, they find out that their branch library is going to be closed, and the spiders who are always on the run from the cleanerini, and the mouse in the under fives corner, and Furry Purry Bean Cat get together and try and find a way to help save the library. And it's a book, one of the books I'm most proud of the 200 books I've ever written. So maybe I could come back with Rob and talk to you about the Furry Purry Bean Cat series.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. We've just opened a new library here in Berkeley, and it'd be lovely to welcome you to our new library at Berkeley Far Town.
I would love to do that.
Story about the Library Cat.
That would be fantastic. That would be a real honour. Furry Purry Bean Cat is based on a real cat I had. I never had any pets as a children. One weekend I had the class tadpole, and that was the nearest I got to having an animal in my house. And then when I got grown up, I got Beanie, and she was fantastic. So it's really nice. She died. She lived till she was about 19, but then she died. So it's fantastic to be able to write all these books with her as the heroine. So can I just, because in case everyone's going now, can I thank Olivia and Tiffany and the book club and everyone for watching. I've had lots of fun and I've recovered from the carrot. Thank you very much.
It's a relief. Thank you, Philip. It's been amazing. We've had a lovely session, haven't we?
Yeah.
Great.
And thank you for putting up with our technical challenges. I have to say, I think that was possibly the best draw along we've ever had. That was informative and hilarious all at once. Loved it.
It was fun, wasn't it?
Right, we're just going to talk a little bit about what's happening with Lal. So Oh, I have to say, I promised my sons I'd say how much we love this. We've just finished reading this. I can recommend this if you haven't read it. Stick and Fetch.
Is that Barking Up the Wrong Tree? Is that one? Oh, The Wrong End of the Stick. That's the. Oh, yeah. Can I very quickly say, often with illustrators, you don't get to choose who your illustrator is. I'm very fortunate. I do get to choose who my illustrators are, but you don't necessarily get to sit in the same room and work with them. But the fantastic thing about Alyssa Elwick, who is the illustrator of Stick and Fetch, she also illustrated Little Adventurers stories, which are picture books. And she and I work in an interesting way, because although she ultimately draws the pictures and I ultimately write the words, we work together on everything. So we sit in the same room and I'll say, could we do this and could we do that? And during lockdown, she was pregnant. Her husband could only, her partner could only be in the room at the actual birth, couldn't visit before or after. But we would try and ring every day, and we wrote a book, in effect, over the phone, which is going to be a big book. So it's a really, really interesting way to work. And I love Stick and Fetch. There are two more. There's That's the Wrong End of the Stick. Then there's Barking Up the Wrong Tree. And those are separate little stories. And then they have their first full-length adventure called Off the Leash, when they go and stay in a hotel. And I should say, as you will know, Olivia, they solve mysteries that don't exist. They keep thinking they're in the middle of mysteries and they find things. And amazingly, they do solve them, don't they? Which is odd. That is odd. So they're solving criminal cases of which there is no criminal case, which is a skill in itself and incredibly difficult to write. So thank you for that. So for mentioning.
I liked the one with the beaver in the swimming pool.
Yes, they're bonkers, aren't they? And then they're thinking the giant beaver's been chewing down lampposts like trees in the book they see at their local library. You will begin to realise that libraries are an important part of my life and my characters' lives.
Yeah, there's your library card. Right, we could talk forever, but we'll have to go. We'll see you again then with Rob, maybe with Alyssa, maybe another one when Ben's feeling better.
Fantastic.
But in the meantime, thanks again, Philip, and we'll see you again.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
So we're just going to talk a little bit now about what's happening with LAL. So after over a year of weekly LAL sessions with amazing guests and great fun, we're looking forward to a future where we might be able to actually see some of you in real life. But don't worry, LAL will continue, but we're going to be doing a little bit of a balancing act. So to ensure we provide opportunities to see our guests in person and watch our guests on LAL, on live or catch up, to allow us a little bit more scope to have the physical events in our lovely libraries, LAL will be moving to once a month. But don't worry, because we still have our extra LAL Plus sessions, and we've got festivals such as Cosmia. So you'll be seeing us actually way more often than once a month anyway. And if you really want your fix of LAL on a Tuesday, you can always go onto our webpage and watch us on catch up. If there's any guests that you missed, or just ones that you miss and want to watch again, go to our website and you can pick your favourite to watch every Tuesday. Now, our next live LAL session will be, it's a double whammy of loveliness, on the 21st of September at 11 o'clock. We've got Ross Warburton and Sarah Montgomery.
Other way around, Olivia.
I've married them off. I've created new people. I apologise. We've got Ross Montgomery and Sarah Warburton. Yeah, I've just invented new people. Yeah, Ross and Sarah. Ross and Sarah will be here, and they're going to be getting you back in the sort of back to school spirit with their book, 10 Delicious Teachers. So don't worry if you're at school, you're not going to miss out. We can ask the questions for you if you'd like to send them to us in advance. Let me just pop that down. You can send the questions into us in advance to lal@kirklees.gov.uk. Or on the day, if you are able to watch live, you can type them into the chat. And we'd love it if maybe you want to speak to your teachers and see if you'd like to get them to watch it live in class, or send some questions in and we can give you a shout out. So I think that's all from us. So we'll see you in September.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.